Today on Investigate TV Plus, diagnosis disconnect.
It's 2025. We need to do better.
Millions of Americans living in rural America lack high-speed internet and can't connect to the medical care they need. We examine digital access deficiencies, the barriers they pose to well-being, and a solution bridging the healthcare divide.
Plus, claim confusion.
I think in total I was denied 3 or 4 times.
Doctors said her daughter required a special and expensive infant formula, but her insurance company refused to cover it. We provide insight into deciphering denied claims, navigating the appeals process, and how to advocate for yourself.
And meeting needs.
They're here to help us, and we're here to help them.
A bakery inspires hope and provides the ingredients to help the unhoused make a fresh start.
In-depth stories that inform and inspire. You're watching Investigate TV Plus. Your home computer, household appliances, and even your phone. For many of us, internet access is no longer a luxury, but a basic necessity. I'm Lee Zurich.
And I'm Tisha Powell. Yet in March of 2024, the Federal Communications Commission reported 24 million Americans, or 7% of the U.S. population, lack access to fixed broadband. An analysis from our partners at KFF Health News shows many of those communities with poor internet access are also some of the places that experience earlier deaths and higher rates of chronic diseases.
Investigative reporter Carice Jackman takes an in-depth look at internet dead zones and explores how some communities are providing a better connection to healthcare.
At 72 years old, Barbara Williams takes her pills every day. After that,
and I do my finger. Sometimes I can't get the blood out of one.
Today, her blood sugar level's pretty low.
So that let me know that I need to be getting something in me.
And that's not the only thing running low.
There should be a full internet that should be right there. But I don't have now. I just only got one bar. See, 1, 2, 3, 4 bar. There come another one now. But that's all they're gonna give me, 2 bars. It don't get it full.
Barbara lives in her mother's house on her family's land in Boligee, Alabama. The town of nearly 300 people in Greene County sits just off I-20 in an area known as Alabama's Black Belt, a historically agricultural region, predominantly Black and elderly. But in this rural town, there's no high-speed internet, which decreases access to public health.
The hospital, clinics. Like I say, even here in my home, I need internet.
And while urban areas have pockets with spotty internet service, the broadband disconnect in rural communities leaves millions of people unable to surf the web and have alternative ways of getting essential forms of healthcare access. Our partners at KFF Health News found that more than 200 counties in the country lag far behind the rest of the nation when it comes to high-speed broadband, access to primary care providers who serve Medicaid beneficiaries, and access to behavioral health specialists. From Alabama's Black Belt to Appalachia and the remote West, KFF Health News found that people in rural areas live sicker and die earlier on average than the rest of the country. Black Americans are more likely to be diagnosed with diabetes and are twice as likely as their white counterparts to die from the condition. In the rural South, African Americans are also more likely to lack home internet access.
There are so many layers of disadvantage impacting these communities when it comes to digital access and digital technologies. It's 2025. We need to do better.
Christopher Ali, telecommunications professor at Penn State University, says improved access to broadband can be a game changer, especially for rural and tribal communities where lack of internet access can reduce a person's care and medical access. Broadband signals can be slowed by distance, making technology out of reach for people like Barbara in Boligee. And while Congress has spent years allocating billions of dollars towards improving internet access, critics say there's little to show for it in rural areas. But in these rural areas, there's still hope. At Boligee's Community Center, a large on-med telehealth care station sits in the middle of a room. Boligee partnered with Auburn University and the University of West Alabama to launch this project. addressing the healthcare needs in Bolaji and surrounding areas. Let's step inside this private state-of-the-art station and have a real-time telehealth call. After a little over 30 seconds, Nurse Hannah appeared on screen.
Hey, welcome to OnNet. How are you doing today?
Walking us through how she typically speaks to and treats patients.
And then we have a camera. We have a stethoscope, so we can listen to your heart sounds, lung sounds. We can get a picture of a rash, a cut, a broken bone, you name it, we can get a picture.
The people can come in and have do their vital signs, talk to a doctor online.
Bolaji Mayor Hattie Samuels says people have come as far as 40 miles away in Mississippi to access the telehealth service. The center relies on SpaceX's Starlink to provide high-speed connection in areas where there are no options. But the care station isn't permanent.
And I know you have it for 2 years. Are you worried about what's going to happen after those 2 years?
I'm praying, and I think God's going to make a way.
Faith and community are two big values keeping everyone connected in Alabama's Black Belt.
I asked the Lord to give me peace, happiness, and joy, and He gave it to me. And I'm going to keep that. I'll always be happy and jolly.
While living in the midst of a digital and healthcare shortage.
Congress included the more than $42 billion Broadband Equity Access and Deployment Program, or BEAD, as part of the 2021 bipartisan infrastructure law.
But in June 2025, after a rigorous review by the Trump administration, the National Telecommunications and Information Administration released significant changes for BEAD. Those include requiring states to rescind preliminary awards and conduct a new selection round based on benefit of the bargain, which prioritizes low-cost bids. States will have 90 days to comply, and a move towards a technology-neutral approach, dropping the Biden administration's fiber-first strategy.
Still ahead, from kneading dough to fulfilling a need. A bakery's recipe for providing a helping hand to those experiencing homelessness and inspiring a community to give back.
But first, deciphering denials.
The lady said, you didn't fill out the form right, you missed an NPI.
We examine what happens when an insurer refuses to pay a medical claim and give you tools to fight back.
You can watch Investigate TV Plus anytime, streaming online. Get the app for Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and Apple TV. They're free to download. Have you ever gotten a letter from your insurer denying coverage for a test, drug, or other medical treatment? If so, you're hardly alone.
Yeah, 1 in 5 insured adults experienced a denied claim in the past year, and some of those denials can leave you on the hook for costly medical bills. Consumer reporter Cassidy Williams provides insight into medical coverage denials and solutions to help you secure needed treatments.
Come here, let's do the puzzle together.
Toddler Layla Nielsen has a big personality.
Thank you.
But that big personality started out as a 3-pound preemie.
She was a peanut, definitely a life-changing event to have a NICU baby.
After more than 50 days in the NICU, Layla came home. On doctor's orders, her mom, Kelly, fed Layla a special neonatal formula.
It was scary. It was regimented. I'm a first-time brand new mom, so I'm like, oh my God, what do I just have this peanut of a baby, and I'm gonna follow everything that I'm told to the T.
Neonatal formula isn't cheap, but it can be covered by insurance.
You name it, I kept it.
Nielsen kept all her receipts and submitted a claim to be reimbursed for around $600 worth of formula. But months later, it was denied.
The lady said, you didn't fill out the form right, you missed an NPI, some doctor code number that the pediatrician knew.
NPI stands for National Provider Identifier. It's a unique code that connects a claim with the doctor.
So it can be very complicated to fill out the forms, but what's really important is to try to fill out as much information as possible to avoid getting the claim rejected.
Kathy Holt is Connecticut's acting healthcare advocate. Her office helps people in the state work through insurance denials and appeals for free. It's a resource Nielsen wishes she knew about.
Oh, you're a monster?
Holt says 65% of calls to the Office of the Healthcare Advocate are about denials. 40% are denials for medical necessity. The other 25% are administrative denials, or what she calls connecting the dot cases. Think of filling out a healthcare form like a game of connect the dots. If you miss even one dot along the way, like an MPI number, you could be denied, and the burden is on you to figure out what dot you missed.
The complexity of insurance and the quickness to deny services rather than to fix the problem that may have arisen, the box that wasn't checked, or the signature that wasn't obtained, those sometimes take a little while to uncover.
What do we got? Oh, headphones and music?
Like Layla's matching game,
Headphones and music? Good job. High five.
Kelly Nielsen tried to connect what her forms were missing on her own.
How much time do you think you spent on the phone, sending emails, filling out forms?
At least two days.
But she kept getting denied.
I think in total I was denied 3 or 4 times. And it's like they make you do extra work that's gonna be wrong, that you don't know, so they don't have to pay you and they don't have to give their money away.
When we asked Nielsen's insurance provider, Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield, to find out what happened, they explained in a statement that the first time the claim was missing the prescription and a diagnosis code, and went on to say, "We understand the back and forth with the member caused confusion and ultimately resulted in no action being taken. We sincerely apologize for that mistake. We have now contacted Layla's provider to obtain the necessary information, and we have approved the claim for the formula."
That's an entire month's worth of groceries. That's a car payment. That's almost more than half of our mortgage. It's our bills. It's everything.
Hey, look, I found the butterfly.
The money is now on its way back to Nielsen. The game of connect the dots finally complete.
Good job, baby.
A denial doesn't mean you should immediately pay out of pocket or skip the care you need. Andrea Gross, CEO and president of MedWise Insurance Advocacy, has worked in the healthcare industry for 35 years. She says while challenging a denial may seem overwhelming, it may be worth it.
You're going to go to your doctors. Even if the first appeal, you get letters from your doctors, you're going to go back to your doctors. Let's say you have to appeal it again. You're going to go back to your doctors and say, okay, I have to appeal it again. Can you please help me with this? And you're going to tell that doctor they have to give you another letter, not the original one that they gave you for the first appeal. You need another letter that's going to be more specific as for the need that you had to be at the hospital.
You can find more information about navigating the appeals process by going to investigatetv.com and typing insurance denials in the search bar.
Still to come, a small town becomes the home of a big dream.
I wanted to do something cool, do something that I could work on myself.
How he transforms some railway relics into a vintage-inspired retreat.
But first, fresh bread and fresh starts.
They're here to help us, and we're here to help them.
The inspiring story behind a business providing jobs and economic independence through baking.
Our in-depth coverage continues. You can get connected to Investigate TV Plus on all social media platforms.
Beyond the warm, comforting aroma of bread baking and the sweet smell of gooey cinnamon rolls, a bakery in Memphis provides the ingredients to help the unhoused get back on their feet.
Lucy J's is more than just a haven of baked goods and sugary treats. The bakery serves as a place of opportunity for those experiencing homelessness or other financial troubles.
Reporter Kim Clark shows us how the owners were inspired to use their love for baking to serve those in their community.
Walk into Lucy J's Bakery inside Crosstown Concourse and right away you smell, then see what's cooking.
Food is important.
Working in kitchens is a way of life for Josh Burgess, Lucy J's executive director and head baker.
Our fresh bread is some of the best in the city. Our sourdough and our cheddar jalapeno bread are very, very popular. We have the best cinnamon roll in the world. I've only had one person argue with me about that. She was about 9 years old at a farmer's market, and she never came back to tell me I was wrong, so I think I won.
The savory and sweet pockets, croissants, cupcakes, and cookies are tasty too. But this bakery, named after Burgess' daughter and eldest son, serves up more than just pastries. The jobs here pave a path forward for many of Lucy J's employees.
Just depends on what they need, and we try to find a slot for them to fill.
There is a huge need here in the city, and it really is an invisible problem.
Tracy Burgess, wife to Josh, is executive director of Dorothy Day House, a Memphis nonprofit that provides temporary housing and support services, like jobs at Lucy J's, for families experiencing homelessness.
They have to be able to sustain their family life after they move out.
Founded in 2006 and named after a late journalist and passionate fighter for the poor, the Dorothy Day House filled a void for families seeking shelter.
There was not a space that would accept a married couple, and there was not a space that would accept preteen and teenage boys.
The Dorothy Day House now has 3 locations in Memphis, filled with families trying to make a fresh start while gaining a network of support.
Probably the most important thing is that it's more than just housing. Through the support of our board of directors and our ministry team, and especially the volunteers, there is a huge community that has been created.
We toured Loretta's house, named in memory of a former resident who died of a stroke.
She epitomized everything that a mother had to do to take care of her teenage son.
So how important of a role does employment play in all this?
It's important for families to find employment that will sustain them long term after the services of the Dorothy Day House.
Lucy J's provides some of those jobs and pays their workers a living wage of $15 an hour.
It's just a community that needs help, and they're here to help us, and we're here to help them.
With steady demand for Lucy J's baked goods at groceries, restaurants, and food trucks, Josh and Tracy hope to raise money to expand the bakery and hire even more workers.
It's a big mission that we're trying to tackle, and we could use everybody's help. Come in, buy something, donate if they're available, volunteer if they're available, and just become part of the community.
As Dorothy Day used to say, love and ever more love is the only solution to every problem that comes up.
All right, first of all, the pastries did look great.
They look delicious.
But even better was what the cause is and what they're trying to do.
Especially helping the homeless population. Sometimes they are unseen, but you can tell that these people are so committed to helping.
They care.
Yeah.
They do.
Well, up next, all aboard, we check in to the Trainwreck Inn. You can watch Investigate TV Plus anytime online. Just subscribe to our YouTube channel at Investigate TV. You can catch stories and full episodes.
The home to the only miracle in the U.S. recognized by the Vatican is also a place where some railway relics have undergone their own revival.
The Trainwreck Inn is the unusual name for a bed and breakfast made up of old rail cars and buildings. Reporter Dave McNamara hops on board.
Grand Coteau is a small town with old Acadian-style houses and a few old stores that is steeped in 2 centuries of Catholic history. It's the kind of place where it seems natural to find a couple of old railroad cars next to the post office.
I have always loved railroads, and I wanted to do something cool, do something that I could work on myself, and got an opportunity to purchase the rail cars.
Local attorney Ben Trant is co-owner of an Airbnb that features a railroad mail car, a ticket office, train depot, and an old caboose.
Train enthusiasts definitely like this one a lot.
All of the structures are newly refurbished for overnight guests.
What do you think makes people want to spend the night in an old railroad car?
They're unique. I think people like to stay in unique things. And then they're also, we've made them comfortable. So you kind of get the best of both worlds.
I've seen these century-old railroad accommodations before in the town of Sunset. 9 years ago, they were being used as a bed and breakfast at the home of Margaret Brinkhouse and her husband, the late Senator Armand Brinkhouse. While in the legislature, Brinkhouse tried to force railroads to keep using the caboose, but the railroads won.
And he heard some of the men saying they wanted to buy one, and he said, well, I'd like one too for an outdoor kitchen. We waited 10 years before we got it.
And I knew of the cars growing up. I'd checked them out a few times, and I thought it would just be a great fit.
Trapp bought the structures and moved them a few miles down the road to Grand Coteau. And with the help of designer Carly Viator Corville, gave the old cars a new look.
You know, you got a touch of modern, some older items as well that we've collected, but it's just a timeless, very its own world at the train wreck.
They picked the name Trainwreck Inn because of the challenges in moving, remodeling, and opening the Airbnb.
So we're in the oldest car now, which is a U.S. mail car that was built in the 1880s.
The mail car is a little more of the high-class car, I believe. And it's got all new appliances, a custom-made kitchen.
Each of the units comes with an old record player and a stack of vinyl discs. Mixed in with the railroad memorabilia are pictures of local landscapes and Cajun musicians.
People that have stayed here and locals that have popped in have just been blown away. They're like, this is unlike anywhere I've ever been before.
The Trainwreck Inn is an unusual, quirky, kind of artsy, antique, modern experience that seems to fit comfortably in the small rural community of Grand Coteau.
And that's it for us on Investigate TV Plus. I'm Lee Zurich.
And I'm T. Chappelle. Thanks for watching. On the next Investigate TV Plus, storing data comes at a massive cost, but who's really paying?
Big tech wants to see someone else pick up the tab for all this expensive infrastructure.
We uncover how companies cut deals to develop giant warehouses behind closed doors.
We were the test subject to see, can we build a data center this close to a community? And yes, you can.
And how neighbors could end up footing the bill.